If Sukuna appeared in the real world, governments would prepare weapons. But if Gojo Satoru appeared, weapons would become useless. That sounds dramatic, but inside Jujutsu Kaisen, it literally happened. The moment Gojo was born, curses across the planet grew stronger just to balance his existence. Not because he attacked them, not because he fought them, because reality itself refused to stay unequal. The world didn't react to Sukuna's return like that. It reacted to Gojo's birth, which means Sukuna is powerful. But Gojo is disruptive, and disruption is always more dangerous than destruction. Everyone fears Sukuna, but the system fears Gojo. That single difference explains the entire story. Sukuna is predictable. He wants domination, pleasure, violence. You see him? You fight or run. He's a natural disaster. But Gojo breaks the rules. Disasters follow. Don't prepare against Gojo. You reorganize around him. And when society reorganizes around one individual, that individual becomes more dangerous than any villain. Think about the higher-ups. They lived for centuries controlling sorcerers through rank and bloodline. Then Gojo appears. Suddenly talent matters more than heritage. Students matter more than clans. Potential matters more than tradition. One man didn't defeat them, made them irrelevant. That's why they never planned to kill him, planned to seal him, because killing removes a threat. But Gojo isn't a threat. It's an imbalance. Sukuna threatens survival, as Gojo threatens structure. Here's the psychological problem. Fear creates resistance. Dependency creates weakness. When Sukuna appears, people evolve to survive. When Gojo exists, people relax. Why risk your life when the strongest sorcerer alive will save you? For years, Gojo protected everyone. And unknowingly, he trained the world to stop protecting itself. Students relied on him. Sorcerers relied on him. Society relied on him. Even enemies relied on him being the center of their plans. He became less of a human and more of a pillar. And pillars are dangerous, because once removed, everything collapses. Notice what happened after Gojo was sealed. The world didn't become safer. It became real. For the first time, everyone had to face consequences without a safety net. And chaos exploded instantly, not because evil got stronger, because humanity had grown dependent. This is the paradox. Gojo's greatest success created the greatest vulnerability. Now compare mentality. Sukuna lives in the present. He destroys what's in front of him. He has no future vision. If Sukuna wins, the story ends in fire. But Gojo thinks about tomorrow. He wants students stronger than himself. At first, that sounds heroic, but it actually means the end of controlled power. For centuries, strength belonged to specific families. Predictable, contained, stable. Gojo wants power everywhere. In a world where everyone holds power, it's a world no authority can stabilize. Peace doesn't come from equality of strength. Peace comes from imbalance. Everyone understands. Gojo erases that imbalance. So Sukuna brings death. Gojo brings uncertainty. And humans fear uncertainty more than death. Now comes the philosophical difference. Sukuna is external danger, humanity versus monster that unites people. Gojo is internal singularity, humanity versus evolution that divides people. History shows civilizations survive enemies. They struggle to survive saviors, because saviors become necessities. Necessities become weaknesses. Gojo didn't just change battles, he changed expectations. Sorcerers stopped asking, can we win? They asked, when will Gojo arrive? That single mindset shift is catastrophic long-term. Species that waits for rescue stops developing survival instincts. And extinction doesn't happen from losing fights. It happens from losing adaptation. So when Gojo existed, humanity stagnated safely. When Gojo disappeared, humanity panicked violently, meaning the real danger wasn't Sukuna's arrival, it was Gojo's absence. Here's why enemies targeted him first. It's not because he was strongest. It's because he was central. Remove Sukuna, one threat gone, remove Gojo. The world destabilizes. And destabilized worlds are easiest to control. So sealing Gojo wasn't just tactical, it was environmental manipulation. They didn't defeat humanity's shield. They removed humanity's crutch. Now ask yourself something terrifying. If Gojo decided the higher-up should disappear, who could stop it? No court, no army, no sorcerer. Power without opposition becomes absolute authority. Even if the person is kind, the most dangerous individual isn't evil, It's the one beyond consequence. Sukuna kills because he wants to. Gojo could change the world because he thinks it's right. Intentions don't matter when opposition doesn't exist. That's why Gojo feels isolated, not emotionally, structurally. No equal means no balance. No balance means every decision bends reality. Sukuna destroys the present. Gojo decides the future. One is violence, the other is evolution. Storms kill thousands. Climate reshapes civilizations. Sukuna is the storm. Gojo is the climate. Storms pass, climate stays. That's why Sukuna is feared. But Gojo is monitored. The higher-ups never worried he'd become evil. They worried he'd become necessary. Because once survival depends on one person, humanity stops being a species, becomes followers. And followers cannot survive without a leader. So, ironically, Gojo protecting humanity slowly removed its independence. He didn't weaken enemies, he weakened resilience, which creates the final paradox. Sukuna threatens whether humanity lives. Gojo threatens whether humanity can live without him. Short-term versus long-term. Immediate danger versus permanent fragility. One kills bodies, the other risks the future. Who is more dangerous? The villain you must defeat, or the protector you must replace? Because defeating Sukuna saves the present, but surpassing Gojo saves the future. In a world that cannot surpass its strongest human, it's already reached its limit. Sukuna is the king of curses. But Gojo is something far rarer. A perfect being inside an imperfect system. Perfection freezes growth, and growth is what keeps existence alive. So Sukuna ends lives, Gojo ends balance, and without balance, even peace becomes a countdown. Which means the real nightmare of Jujutsu Kaisen was never Sukuna winning, was humanity needing Gojo forever, because the moment survival requires one person. Extinction has already begun, so answer honestly. In that world, would you fear Sukuna more? Or would you fear the day Gojo disappears?